Hi everybody, welcome along to the July edition of What's New and What's Next with Vevox. Wherever you're joining us from today, we're really excited to have your company for the next 45 minutes. For those of you who haven't met me before, my name's Charlie and I am based over in the customer success team looking after some of our business customers. We've also got Kyle here today. He's one of our technical CSMs.
That I am, yeah. I do a bit more of the sort of technical and some of the technical onboarding stuff. So you might have spoken to me before, and if you have, hello. Yeah, should we jump straight in?
Yeah, let's go for it. So we've got a jam-packed webinar for you today. So here's a quick snapshot of what we have in store for you to look forward to. So if you didn't catch the March release, we have got a quick recap of the highlights for you. We'll be looking, most importantly, towards the new updates that came to the platform on the 9th of June. Carl's very kindly going to take us through the updates to the LTI integration and the PowerPoint integrations as well, because they're very important to you. We'll also have a sneak peek into the product roadmap, what the product team are looking at over the coming course of this year. We also will keep you posted about upcoming webinars to check out and some of the recent webinars that we ran that you might be dipping into. Some really great content in there. Most importantly, we want you to have your say, so don't forget to share your feedback, product suggestions with us so we can share them with the product team. Do shout your questions in the Q&A as well.
We've got a poll here, hopefully popping up on your screens now. I can see that we've got 32 people in here in the sessions. That is awesome stuff. But the question being, how would you like to see AI being used within the Vevox platform? So obviously right now we're using AI to create questions. Obviously you can upload your own source material and things and create questions that way. Is there any other ways that anybody can think of that you'd like to see AI being used within Vevox? Sort of something maybe we can look at in the near future or, far into the future. Doesn't have to be anything we can do now, but maybe you've got some cool futuristic ideas that we could use it for. Yeah, just anything you can think of, that'd be great.
Share away. Something that I've heard of actually, particularly with like a kind of global meeting, is the ability to have almost like an auto translation of the question. So it can be particularly hard, I guess, if you've got that global audience to decide what language to put your polling question in. So yeah, something in terms of feedback.
Yeah, excellent. So phone results now.
Ooh.
Quite a few, excellent stuff.
Should we pick some create images? Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, very cool. Yeah, I know you can get the image creation tool online, can't you? And people create all sorts of funny things and make stories out of them. But yeah, that's a really good idea. Yeah, definitely.
Translate Q&A, yeah, along the translation lines we were talking about.
Grouping words and word cloud. Yeah, very cool. So yeah, maybe things that are related to each other could all go into the same word. And yeah, that's a really good example. Good idea as well.
I'm not sure at the moment. Yeah. In a responsible way.
Fake news that students can correct and assessment. Yeah, no, that's a really good idea. I like the responsible way you put it in front as well. Generate thoughts graphs. So yeah, good idea. So a bit more sort of on the data sort of analyzing side there. Cool stuff.
Excellent.
Q&A. Yeah, perfect. Like you were speaking about earlier, translating Q&A. Yeah, no, really cool. Awesome stuff. So
thank you for sharing.
Yeah, with that, well, obviously there's some more in the background here that we can have a look at later on. We can pass some of these on to the product team. So thank you very much, guys, for your answers. So jumping straight into the March 25 release highlights. So the first one being team leaderboards. It's exactly what it says. It allows you to be scored as a team. So what basically would happen is you create a demographic question. Users and participants would vote on what team they want to be in. So that then they obviously get placed in those teams that they vote on. It's a bit like a multi-choice question. And you pick the team you want to be in. And then throughout the rest of the polling session, you would then be scored as a team together. So yeah, hopefully that explains it. All right. And there's some examples on the screen here, so you can see that people are picking a team and they're being put in their first place as a group rather than just on their own.
Yeah, some great wizard. And he did another bit of gamification.
That's true. More gamification. It's my favorite thing.
Awesome. In the March release, we also brought out Excel template importing. So being able to upload a bulk load of live polling questions or surveys through an Excel-based template. So particularly important if you've already got a kind of preset kind of selection of content, or if you just want to quickly upload it very quickly. Also really important in scenarios where you might be engaging with people outside of the Vevox platform. So leadership team, external speakers, for instance, you can quickly send this master Excel. They can put their questions in there send it back to you. You can quickly import it and quickly add those questions into your presentation. So save you doing it kind of on a one-by-one basis. So yeah, hopefully you've explored that and it's been particularly useful for you from a time save perspective. So
yeah, I mean, that's why I love it. Saves so much time. So it's ease of use, I think, isn't it? It's perfect.
absolutely.
Stuff. And there, obviously, there's just a bit of a bigger example of what that can look like. Awesome. So another 2025 March release. So AI quiz improvements. So this one, basically how it used to work is you put your prompt in, which obviously the AI would use to then generate questions. You select an amount of questions to generate, and then you would generate them. So the differences, what we have now, essentially are that you can add easy, medium, and hard. So you're adding a bit of sort of like a difficulty level to the questions you're generating. I personally always go for the easy option, but that obviously you guys probably be smarter than me. So, but yeah, there's also a few other things like being able to upload sort of text documents as source material. So if you had a textbook on, for example, biology, and you wanted to base your questions that the AI was going to make for you on that textbook, then you could upload that source material and it would use that to generate the questions. Obviously, really cool, good for sort of universities and things like that. And then another little thing at the end here, which is the switch from OpenAI to Microsoft as our service provider. Excellent stuff.
And everything else. So we made some improvements to our numeric question type. So we've removed the range limit. So there's no kind of preset start or upper and lower limit, should I say. So it kind of makes the questions a little bit more tricky because if people aren't guided towards the limit, they need to input a response within. We've upped the number of decimal places and increased it to 10, and we've added ordered list display type as well, so you can see the number of responses and the frequency of those responses. Some other quick things just to kind of quickly touch upon. So we've made some updates to the settings. So we've split out the settings for participant app and present view display, so you can have different color schemes for each of those. And we've also brought in some updates to the PowerPoint add-in in March. So I've made some improvements to the pie chart display. I think there was a moment when the latex was slightly disappearing off the screen, so we've corrected that.
Yes, so when you would generate a latex equation, sometimes there'd be a little bit cut off in various locations, but the development team done a great job at fixing that and all fully working now. So yeah.
Cool. Let's dip into June updates. So yeah, really excited about this update. It's some brilliant stuff that our product team have brought into the platform. So I think a really nice place just to start is to talk about the updated question creation user interface. So whilst the user interface has had some changes, it's important to note that the functionality around question creation hasn't changed. We've just rejigged things with all the recent updates we've added in to just make it more simple and more intuitive for you to follow. So the first thing you'll notice when you go to create your content, you've got that generate content button. You've got the option to create a poll from scratch. You can import polls from the AI or your question library, which we'll talk about in a bit more detail in a moment. And you've also got the option to create non-polling content. So again, a really exciting one, which I will talk about in a moment. We've got a better visual representation of the display types for you in there. We've also separated out the polling content creation and the poll settings. So yeah, overall, I think it's really awesome. So we mentioned it a moment ago. So presentation content is here in Present View Display. I'm really excited by this one, actually. So we've added support for displaying non-polling content in the form of rich text, images, and YouTube video links. So being able to kind of copy and paste stuff from a Word document, for example, being able to add those images, and I think you can add GIF images if I'm right. And we've also got those YouTube video links. So yeah, super excited. And I think if we move on to the next slide, we've got a really brilliant visual representation. This is from our help site, so I can't take credit for it, of what you can achieve in the Present View display. So this is probably geared a bit more towards like an educational example, so being able to kind of show a picture of the layer and all the different parts, have that poll to check knowledge, and then there's a little video as well, so they might want to kind of talk about an operation or something like that, I don't know. And so yeah, really awesome. You can also add in latex as well.
Yes, you can, yeah.
Into the non-polling content. So some other really great examples. So I just wanted to demonstrate how hugely versatile this new feature can be. So in a conference setting, it could be particularly useful for having a little bit of a credit for your session sponsors or your speakers. For example, being able to detail information about speakers and panelists, or information about upcoming, breakout sessions or streams, for example. In an education setting, might be, aside from the information share, a really great place just to add lecture notes, information. I've got some really great notes here. Assignment due dates and reading lists, for example. In an internal meeting, you could potentially use the non-polling content to add actions from your meeting and display it at the end, so everybody knows what they're going to go off and do. So it's been really exciting in terms of how it's been received. So really excited to see where it goes, actually.
Awesome. Excellent.
So alongside the non-polling content, we have added some enhancements to our present view display. So lots of feedback can come from you guys that we've worked on in the product team. So we've added support for increasing and decreasing the font sizes in the present view display. So you can see here, you can update in real time the size of that font. And I think it's particularly awesome if you're doing like an open text question or a Q&A, to be able to display a little bit more information on the screen. So as well as being important for accessibility as well. We've also added a backdrop filter to the joining instructions. So lots of feedback again, particularly if customers were using like a busy present view kind of display in the background. Sometimes those joining instructions can get a bit lost. So having that filter in there just makes it a bit more clearer and easier for your attendees to kind of understand how to join the session. It's on as a default, but you can turn it off in the settings if you need to.
I know. I find sometimes I have some really complicated backgrounds, and then the QR code just gets lost in it all. But as you can see in the screenshot there, it's really handy, and it sort of blurs out the background a little bit around the QR code, and makes it a lot easier to join the session. That's for sure.
Quite a nice one. You'll notice the vote counter looks a little bit different. So we've kind of moved it a bit so it doesn't interfere with the question title as well. And for those of you who run word cloud polls or have images in your questions, you'll also notice that they now occupy 50-50 kind of split on their presentation display. So quite nice to be able to see that visual a little bit bigger as well if you need to.
Awesome. That's just some demonstrations of what it can look like, and some a solution basically for the one on the right, like I was saying with the complicated background.
Good stuff. So I mentioned it before, the Excel import template. Just wanted to point out that we've also added the ability to put correct answer explanations in there. So particularly valuable if you're importing lots of quiz content. So just wanted to kind of quickly highlight that one for you. And another one that I'm particularly excited about is the account level question library. So your account admins can now create collections of questions. So within those collections that they create, they can add lots of little polling questions, and then they can publish them to your end users. So any of your users, when they're creating a session, can go to your collections and import them. So hugely valuable in the training setting if you've got lots of different kind of modules or subjects, or in a meeting environment if you've got like a standard set of evaluation questions. Any other examples?
No, I'm just going to say, obviously, collections of questions is quite a tongue twister, isn't it? When you, but no, I mean, like, in a business, maybe you have like an end of year review or something, and loads of different teams want to use the same question. Why not make one and let everybody sort of get it from there instead of having to get everybody to it separately? But it can just save a lot of time as well. I think ease of use there as well.
Yeah,
which is awesome.
So hopefully you found that one useful as well. I think this is just a visual representation of so previously it was the account admin view. So this is the user view. So you can see when you go to import, you can import previous questions, Vevox sample content, or you can import from the question collections as well. So lots of options for you.
So, awesome. Cool. So moving on and jumping sort of straight into the LTI side of things and the LMS sort of changes we've made. First one being just put an SSO login in conjunction with the LMS. So previously, if you had an identified session within your LMS with sort of the LTI integration with Vevox, then students to be able to join would have to go through that LMS. So for example, if you had your session in Blackboard with Vevox in it, you would have to join as a participant through your Blackboard session. Obviously now SSO login in conjunction, basically meaning that Vevox will recognize the sort of information that's given to it by SSO, and it will pass your grades back to the gradebook and allow you to get graded via, well, basically by not joining via your LMS all the time. So there's a few different settings you have to change. And if anybody needs any help with that, obviously get in contact with us at support. We can sort of point you in the right direction. Perfect. The option to manually sync. So previously, the way it would work is Vevox would automatically sync the grades in your gradebook, or your gradebook would automatically sync any grades coming from Vevox every time you sort of closed a poll or did anything within Vevox. And this could sometimes be a bit annoying if you were wanting to sort of manually edit your grades in the gradebook. Another example, obviously, saying in Blackboard, if your gradebook, someone does better and you feel like you should give it a bit more of a grade, give an extra point or something. So you change that, but then you go and run another Vevox poll and then it overwrites everything. And, you know, adding that manual ability means that, you know, you could just maybe sync it once at the end and not have to worry about doing it as you're going. And, or, you know, if you didn't want to sync it and you just wanted to run another poll in the same session, you don't have to sync it again. You can just run another poll and it won't affect the grades in the gradebook. So that's another awesome one there. Perfect. And then the combined scoring options is exactly what it says. So previously we had correct answer and participation scoring. We still have those, as you can see on the right hand side, but we do now also have that combined option there, which essentially means that once you've got that selected, you'll see that for our example here, we've got 10 points. Essentially, that would give 5 points participation, 5 points correct answer. It splits it down the middle. So yeah, it just stops you having to click both at the same time. It's a bit of another ease of use thing, which is great to see. Perfect. And then the support for copying LMS content with a link to Vevox activities. So previously, how this would work is you copy your course in, once again, for example, Blackboard or your LMS. And if it had a Vevox link in it, the old course, so the original, the link would break. The copy would then be the one link to your Vevox course. And this is basically because each Vevox session can only be linked to one course at a time. But now what we do, the Vevox side as well, is if you copy or duplicate something, it will also duplicate that session on the Vevox side, therefore keeping both links active and making it a lot easier for you to sort of duplicate and copy courses around the place without having to worry about relinking all your Vevox sessions and things. So another awesome one, one of my personal favorites. Excellent. Moving on from the LMS and the LTI sort of stuff, moving on to PowerPoint. Added support for team leaderboards is a good one. So a lot of we talked about earlier with the demographic questions and being able to sort of vote yourself into a team and be scored as a team. You can also do that in PowerPoint now. So that is awesome. Improved support for numeric questions with large ranges. So questions with a larger range than 100 or decimal place and things are now supported with a column chart, but it will suggest that you use a different display type, as well as questions with unlimited ranges will not support the column chart, and you will have to choose an alternate display type, unfortunately. Awesome. So moving on to a bit of a plug, yeah. I think it's probably the right word for it, basically. Signing up for our newsletter. So, I mean, you can do this from within your profile settings there, and you can see in the picture, and there's the option to turn on email updates. And this just means that you'll be getting things like feature alerts, so things like what we're doing here, and sort of more information after and sort of when things come out. Webinar invites, once again, a bit like what we're doing here. You'll get them in your inbox as well as free resources, and then some blogs and things that we've released as well. GDPR wise, obviously, we won't email, we're not going to spam you constantly. It's like one email a month, and if you unopt, then we won't send you anything. So yeah, just keep that in mind. Yeah. Anything you would add there, do you think?
No, I just said they're all super useful. It's a great way to kind of keep up to speed with what's new and happening in and around Vevox. So
perfect.
Awesome. So we always like to finish up with the Vevox roadmap. As ever, the below items are still being planned and investigated, and I always get asked to advise on them. But it's stuff that the product team are looking into, and yeah, hopefully we'll hear more across the course of this year. My particular favourite is spin the wheel. It's been quite an interesting topic to speak to customers with when I'm meeting with them, just to kind of get their thoughts and ideas on it. So what we're thinking, a form of presentation content where you can pick items at random from a selection. So some of the ideas I've heard, being able to kind of spin and select a winning individual, or if you're in a training environment and it's really quite quiet and nobody's kind of willing to speak, you could pick a individual at random to start talking about something in particular. So yeah, it'll be interesting. I think lots of customers as well using external kind of resources for spin. So it's going to be quite nice to just have it as a one-stop shop in one platform, I think. So.
Yeah, it'd be handy, and we can use it next time we want to find out who's doing the webinar. We can spin the wheel and let it pick for us.
Excellent. We've got some self-paced activity improvements, so looking at start and end times for surveys, time limits, so putting a limit in terms of completing a survey within like 30 minutes, for example, self-paced quiz completion options, and being able to define what participants sees when they finished a self-paced quiz, so having a bit more choice over that. Looking at some advanced scoring options as well, so being able to set the number of points for correct answers, and a little bit of focus there on improved definition on the image for correct answers on pin on image as well. In line with the non-polling content, we are also looking to Panopto and Vimeo for the video side. This one I'm particularly excited about is Google Slides integration.
It's my favourite one so far. Yeah, that's the best one.
Yeah, more to come on that, hopefully, across this year. Mix and match sneaking back in there as well. So as an example, having images and some text and being able to match the two. So another exciting different question type for you. And finally, the ad hoc polling. So if you're in a session and you're having a discussion that's particularly interesting and you want to do a bit of a straw poll to get a quick insight into, like a bit of a deeper insight, I guess, into what people are thinking, being able to kind of do that ad hoc question. So we're looking at ways we can make that super simple for you to do on the fly in your sessions, meetings, etc. So yeah, lots that they're looking at. It's exciting. Do also feel free to share your feedback with us, and we will share it with the product team for consideration in roadmap.
I'm excited to play with the spinning the wheel. Awesome. Moving on. Cool. So a few notices and just a quick heads up, a bit of a plug again. But yeah, so we've got some training sessions coming up for the education sort of side of things. So first one being a sort of getting started session with Vevox. We call it your guide to unmissable classes, but what it is essentially is a sort of get to know the basics of how to use the polling, Q&A, survey aspect of Vevox, as well as sort of getting into like the basic settings and maybe changing some specific settings and things like that. So these sessions are about an hour long, and obviously there'll be time for a Q&A at the end of those as well. So definitely worth a join if you're wanting to get a bit more confident with Vevox and using it for your lecturers. But yeah, so we've got another one as well, which is more of an advanced training session, so diving into sort of more specific areas and things, and chatting through use cases with and bouncing things off each other, and hopefully spreading some good use case on how everybody can sort of utilize Vevox in their lectures. These webinars will be from August to October, and they'll be running for university customers only. That being said, obviously for the business side of things, not to worry, we do still have our beginner's guide to Vevox, which is every Tuesday. So every week without fail at 4 p.m. And yeah, hopefully we'll see you there as well. So didn't want you guys to feel left out. But
Kyle has a regular spot there as well.
I do. You see you there. But yeah, just another thing, obviously, if you want to learn more about sort of different things and webinars coming up and wanted to join these ones on the screen, obviously then get in contact with your Vevox champion, your learning technologist, or just get in contact with us. We'll happily send over some information on how to get you joining in those. So perfect. And on the screen now, there are just a few videos and sort of different sort of interviews and things we've done with different lecturers. And there's some great use cases and stuff in there. So if you have the time, head over to our YouTube channel and watch some of these videos. And I think we've got something to add, haven't we?
Yeah. So also a quick mention, we have a new initiative incoming for the next semester. So we are offering a small limited number of free pilots for education institutions. So if you or someone you know is not using Vevox departmentally or campus-wide at the moment, do drop us a quick line and we'll tell you a little bit more about it. So
that we will. Awesome.
Cool. So we're going to finish up now with our Q&A session as ever. So we'll leave this up for a quick second. If you haven't already done so, it's on Present Pizza as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
And so just scan the QR code if you've got some questions that you'd like to send our way. We'll answer as many as we can. So let's
start at the top.
Yeah.
Both find the mouse. Actually, it was perfect. So loving the ability to add content slides to Vevox. Yeah, so it's actually such an awesome update, and it sort of brings some of that PowerPoint functionality as well. Obviously, we have the PowerPoint add-in, but it brings some of that functionality into the Vevox side of things as well, and makes it a bit more usable for adding that content between just polls and things. So yeah, absolutely loving it as well.
And as you dip into it, obviously, do share your feedback and ideas with us.
Definitely. Kind of see start in time for that.
Yeah,
that has
been quite requested. Yeah, so yeah, fingers crossed we'll see where that lands.
Perfect. Other platforms being explored for video, e.g., Vimeo or such. Well, yeah, so hopefully we covered that one. Yeah. And yes, they are. And hopefully we'll have some updates on those soon for you as well.
Yeah.
Team leaderboard for my quizzes. Yep, perfect. I mean, I would love to hear your use case for those as well.
Yeah, and the impact it's obviously had on your sessions as well, training or meetings. So yeah,
because you've definitely got some better use cases than we could come up with, that's for sure. So definitely send those over if you can.
Yeah, I'd love to hear them.
That's good. Tag colors to text.
And the non-polling content, okay, that's an interesting one. There is that ability to kind of change the font size, put the line breaks and do a bit of formatting. But yeah, we will absolutely share that with the product team, being able to kind of add colours, I guess, and kind of brand it up a bit.
100%.
Nice suggestion.
What's the differences / advice on whether you would use OpenAI or Microsoft? So the way we see a lot of our stuff is sort of Microsoft based anyway. So moving over to Microsoft is a bit of a no-brainer, and not really much else I can comment on that. I don't think off the top of my head, but yeah, we just move over to Microsoft for the foreseeable.
Yeah. If you've got any specific questions around that, do drop us a message on support@vevox.com, and yeah, we'll certainly answer any more kind of questions you have around that. So
we shall. Can a teacher download raw data from a session? You can. So you can, in your data tab on your session, you head up to the top right, there's that data or that download button. And if you click on that, you get the options to download images or download the data report, which is just a raw Excel document basically saying who picked what they said, and what people said in the Q&A as well, if you wanted that. And so yeah, there is a raw data out there for you as well. All this will be available in Microsoft Teams. So yeah, I mean, so the way we do it is we roll things out on the dashboard first, and then in the coming sort of period of time after that, usually quite soon, we roll it all out to the integrations and things. So a bit like what we did with the team scoring and the demo polls and things. It came out on the dashboard first, then it is shortly followed in the other platforms and things. So yeah, it will definitely be coming when it comes. Don't want to give a time frame. I'll be told off. But when it comes, then obviously it then comes to the other different places as well. So that answers that.
Excellent. I forgot to mention actually the changes to the user interface with poll and content creation. You will see parity in PowerPoint, Teams, and Zoom, and with the non-polling content, you will see that in Teams and Zoom.
Yes. So. Sure. How do you sign up for new people? So if you just type in Beginner's Guide to Vevox, it should come up on the web. But if not, if you drop us an email at hello@vevox.com, then I can get back to you and send you the links to be able to sign up for those. So yeah, if you can't find it, just give us a shout and we'll be down.
You should be able to find them on the website as well if you go to, is it resources?
Yes. And yeah. Perfect. Very pleased to see the ability to add presentation content. Our academic colleagues usually share their presentation slides with students in the VLE Canvas. After the session, will they be able to do this with Vevox session? So the ability to add presentation content. I mean, the best way to do it, you'd be able to obviously download the images for your Vevox session. So, I mean, I think I understand, if I'm understanding the question right, it's sharing the slides afterwards. So yes, you definitely can do that 100%. If I haven't answered that properly, sorry. Yeah, once again, give us an email. I'll do my best to answer it properly. Teams, you mentioned you get entered into a team, and then this is the team you'll have throughout the year. And so what I mean basically is teaming questions in each session. You'd have to set up a different demographic question, pick your team for that session, if that makes sense. So it's not the whole year or anything like that. It's you pick your team for that period of polls you're running basically. And if those polls are reset, then you have to pick your team again, or you can select a different team if you want to do if the demographic question is reopened. Is this easily editable? Hopefully I answered that one there. But yeah, you can select it and get people to pick again, or get people to change their mind if need be. Yeah, hopefully that answers that one. I feel repeating myself there now. Any sort of issues when used through PowerPoint?
That needs to be a bit more specific.
Yeah, so I mean, you can send that in once again. You send that into hello@vevox.com or support@vevox.com. If you just send the issues, obviously, that you're experiencing, and we'll do our best to help you out there as well.
Sure thing.
Collections of questions, can you restrict to specific users just in case you wanted to share across the whole university? So, off the top of my head, that's a great question.
I don't think so. I think when you publish it to everyone.
Yeah, so
we can seek clarification.
Yes, I believe it's everybody in the account and then see those questions that you create. But once again, yeah, if that's not true, and if you once again can email the question into support@vevox.com, I can clarify whether that's true or not. But I believe it is to everybody, and there's currently a way of sort of delegating who it goes to.
Yeah, but it's a good shout for our product team as well. So, thank you for sharing that.
Sorry.
I know, I feel like I'm leaving you to it. Is there good source material for brand new users? Yeah, absolutely. So I think we plugged it earlier. We've got the Beginner's Guide webinars, which run every Tuesday at 4. And so that's the dashboard, and then at 4:30, and this is UK time. I think it's 11 a.m. Eastern time.
Yeah.
There you are. So yeah, definitely recommend those Beginner's Guide webinars. On our YouTube channel as well, we also have a Getting Started with Vevox video, which is 13 minutes long. So that's a really good watch, as well as the help site. Lots of great articles on there if you're looking at something specific. So yeah, give us a shout. Your customer success manager can ping you in the right direction to some of those links.
So
I agree with the export option in the same way as sharing PowerPoint slides rather than downloading each image. I can't remember if you can download the whole lot in one go. If not, this would be useful.
So yeah, you can download all of them on the data page. When you go up to the top right and click download, there's the option to download all the images of your things, or of your polls and things, or you can once again download that raw data report. So yeah, that's functionality. So hopefully that helps.
Good stuff. Looking forward to trying out PowerPoint improvements. Cool. Yeah, please try them out. Let us know your feedback. Any plans for allowing for Kaltura video on content slides?
I assume Kaltura video is just another video hosting platform, in which case definitely something that we can pass on to get looked at.
Yeah, sure.
And it might be a case of, it gets added with the other ones, or, when we're looking at things. But yeah, once again, don't want to make any promises. Hands up and say sorry.
It's a good one to share, though. We're all going to share that on the team. Thank you. Love how survey data download to Excel is almost perfectly formatted. Yeah, good stuff. Do the students need to have a Vevox account to access the Q quote?
I'm not sure what is meant by Q quote, but Vevox account to access the questions and things and to be able to access the session. No, they don't need to have a Vevox account. If they're logging in via SSO, it will be using the sort of university's credentials. If it's not an identified session, then it would just be joining with a phone. There would be no need for an account or anything like that. So I hope that answers.
Strictly, yeah. If not, do reach out to your CSM and we can get some support there for you. It would be great to use VVX for class attendance, so students cannot gamify the system by share links to the poor, unfortunate bedridden. Oh, goodness. We can certainly pass that feedback on.
Yeah, so there is sort of an attendance page on the data tab, so you can kind of see who's joined the session and things. But I mean, if they're at home and they're in bed and they join the session by BLE or by SSO, then it is going to show up, and there's not really a way to tell if they were in class or in bed, like you say. So yeah. Perfect. I mean, that's all the questions. What I'm going to quickly do now is I'm going to open this webinar feedback survey that we've got here, and I'll quickly show you how you do that as well. So on the participant app, if everybody gets a spare minute, that would be great. Just sort of go to this tab here, click on here, and then click into the feedback survey. It's just really handy for us to sort of have the feedback, see how we did, and see sort of what we can improve on. So yeah, some constructive feedback would be great as well. Constructive criticism, of course.
Yeah, so these sessions are all for you to ensure we're giving you all the knowledge that you need in terms of the new features and stuff. So yeah, if you've got any suggestions on how we can make these sessions even better for you, if you're feeling super kind, do fill in the survey and let us know.
Yeah, that'd been amazing. See, we've got another question here, so get on that.
We got time for one more.
Yeah.
Go on.
I just tested the image download. Could this be accessible as an accessible download? Uploading each image or on could be time consuming.
I think you can download all of the images in one go, can't you, in a zip file?
Yeah, you should be able to.
Yeah.
So I'm going crazy, but yeah, no, you should. Yeah, you definitely should be able to. In the top right, you click download. It should give the option to download images. It should put them all in zip file for you. You should be able to sort of drag and drop them from there and do what you will with them.
Thank you for that question. Well, I think if nobody else has any other questions, we'll wrap the session up today. So thank you so much for joining us. Hope the session was really informative for you. And yeah, if you do have any other questions or anything your customer success manager can help you with, do drop us an email. We always love to hear from you. So thank you and enjoy the rest of your day wherever you are.
Excellent. See you later, guys.